Hey everyone, and welcome to Fact Universe. We hope you're doing great.
Yeah, great to be here.
This is the podcast where we dive into facts and information available in the public domain, sourced from credible media outlets and other trusted sources. Let's get started.
Okay.
So today, we're diving into a civilization that, honestly, really makes you rethink ancient societies. The Indus Valley Civilization.
Absolutely fascinating stuff.
We're talking about a Bronze Age urban culture, kicking off around 2800 BCE. And the scale, just huge. Over 1,500 miles across modern-day Pakistan and northwest India.
It's staggering.
Right. By 2000 BCE, you're looking at over 1,000 cities and towns, including giants like Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro. So our goal today is to explore what made them so unique and maybe touch on some of the lingering questions.
Definitely. The story starts even earlier. Those agricultural roots, they go way back maybe to 7,000 BCE.
Wow, that early.
Yeah, early farmers cultivating wheat, barley,
Yeah.
but also, interestingly, things like cotton and bananas, which were pretty unique for the region back then.
Cotton and bananas.
Okay. And that diverse farming, that surplus, that was really the key. It wasn't just about food. It was the engine that transformed simple villages into these incredibly sophisticated cities we associate with the Indus Valley.
So the farming really laid the groundwork for everything else.
Precisely. It fueled that urban explosion.
Okay, let's talk about that urban mastery.
Yes.
'Cause this is where it gets really interesting, isn't it?
Okay.
The cities themselves.
Oh, absolutely. Their city planning was meticulous.
Yeah.
We're talking streets laid out in a grid pattern, houses built with standardized baked bricks.
Standardized, so like mass-produced almost?
In a sense, yeah. Consistent sizes,
Yeah.
properly fired. And think about this. Individual houses often have their own wells, and they have these advanced covered drainage systems.
Covered drains. That's pretty advanced for the Bronze Age. Better than some places much later.
Miles ahead, in many cases. You typically see a sort of citadel area, maybe administrative or religious, and then the lower residential town. And then there's the Great Bath at Mohenjo-Daro.
Ah, yes. The Great Bath. Huge structure, right? About 12 by 7 meters.
Exactly. Lined with a bitumen natural tar to make it waterproof. Probably had some kind of ritual purpose.
It all points to incredible coordination, maybe even some form of communal governance.
That's what it suggests. Less like the powerful kings we see in Egypt or Mesopotamia, perhaps something more collective.
Which leads us nicely into their culture and how they traded. What stands out there?
Well, their art and craft. These beautiful, intricately engraved stone seals are iconic.
The ones with the animals. Buffaloes and that sort of mythical unicorn figure.
Those are the ones. And alongside the pictures, there's this script, an actual script, nearly 400 distinct signs.
No, we can't read it, right?
Still undeciphered. Linguistic analysis strongly suggests it represents a real language, but
No.
yeah, its secrets are locked away for now.
A major puzzle. And trade. You mentioned coordination. They must have traded widely.
Oh, extensively, all the way to Mesopotamia. The Sumerians actually mention a place called Meluha in their texts, which most scholars identify as the Indus region.
How do we know?
We've found Indus seals in Sumerian cities, clear evidence of contact. This trade probably brought bronze technology to the Indus, with tin coming from places like Afghanistan.
And they managed all this trade without coins.
Right, no coinage. Instead, they used very precise stone weight systems, standardized weights, and maybe clay tags for administration or tracking goods. Highly organized.
It's fascinating. Organized cities, organized trade, but maybe not a top-down hierarchy like we expect. What about their spiritual side or how society was structured?
That's another area where they seem distinct. As you said, no obvious signs of massive palaces for kings, no evidence of large standing armies like their contemporaries. It really hints at a more, let's say, egalitarian setup.
More community-focused, perhaps.
Possibly. And in terms of belief, we find lots of female figurines, maybe early goddesses, suggesting a reverence for the feminine principle.
Interesting.
And some seals show a horned figure, sometimes with 3 faces, sitting in a yoga-like pose. Some scholars see this as a very early form of Shiva, or a proto-Shiva.
So, roots of later traditions, potentially visible way back then.
Okay.
But then, what happened? This advanced civilization didn't last forever.
No, it didn't. Around 1800 BCE, things started to change. Trade seems to decline. And by 1500 BCE, many of the big cities were abandoned.
The collapse.
Collapse might be too strong. Scholars increasingly talk about a fragmentation, a transformation, rather than a sudden wipeout. It seems multiple factors were likely at play.
Okay, so what kinds of factors are we talking about?
Well, definitely environmental changes. Shifts in monsoon patterns could have hit agriculture hard. There's evidence the Sarasvati River system, a major water source, dried up or changed course.
That would be devastating.
Absolutely. Add potential ecological strain, maybe overfarming, deforestation. The breakdown of those long-distance trade networks we talked about would have hurt too.
And wasn't there also talk of migrations or invasions?
Yes, that's part of the debate. The arrival of Indo-European speaking groups, sometimes called Aryans, into the subcontinent around 1500 BCE. Whether it was an invasion, a slower migration, or just internal pressures. It's complex and still debated, but it likely added to the stresses.
So a combination of environmental, economic, and maybe social pressures leading to this shift.
Exactly. A complex picture.
But despite fading away, their legacy is undeniable, right?
Right.
Especially in South Asia.
Oh, absolutely. Their innovations in urban planning, those grid systems, the focus on sanitation, these ideas definitely left a mark, and their craft traditions continued in various forms.
It really makes you think. This sophisticated, maybe more communal society.
Yeah.
What else don't we know?
Precisely, and that brings us back to the script.
Right. That final thought for everyone listening. Imagine if we could finally decipher the Indus script. What secrets about their religion, their politics, their everyday lives might just spill out. It could completely change our understanding of this amazing civilization, couldn't it?
It really could. It's one of archaeology's great remaining mysteries.
That wraps up today's episode of Fact Universe. What are your thoughts on what we discussed today? We'd love to hear your opinions.
Yeah, let us know what you think.
Thanks so much for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed it. Your feedback means a lot and helps us keep improving. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the podcast and help us grow. See you next time.